And now, to honor America, please join in the singing of our national anthem. Representing the three-time Stanley Cup champion New Jersey Devils, Arlette.
I feel like I'm at a game. Oh my gosh. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Happy Devils Father's Day Sunday. This is the Let's Go Devils podcast, season 4, episode 25, titled 2021 Devils Free Agents Decisions to be Made. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Scotty of SiriusXM Liquid Metal. Download the SiriusXM app to hear Scotty. You get 3 months free. I'm actually testing it right now. I'm not being endorsed or paid by SiriusXM. I'm just cheap.
Or me.
I just want 3 months of Scotty for free. Yeah.
Anybody can do it, really. You can. It's 3 months for free. If you don't know, SiriusXM always has that. Just download the app. I know my car, what's my car, 2007 Jeep Cherokee? I don't got a fancy one, so I still got to aux it, in, but boom, I gotta get my little holder. Yeah. Got my app going wherever I'm.
You know what, Scotty? This has just occurred to me. I didn't know that you had a Jeep.
I do.
I have a Jeep.
I do.
Beer Baron has
Look
a
out.
Jeep. And
we're a Jeep podcast.
And Shorts Guy is about to close a deal on a Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Found that out yesterday. So anyway, enough about our personal lives. We're streaming live on Facebook Live, Twitter Live, YouTube Live, and Twitch on the Primetime Radio Network. Also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, iHeart app, and now in the Morristown Beer Podcast Library. Alrighty, Scotty.
All right.
Before we begin, happy Father's Day again to all the dads out there. Happy Father's Day to Beer Baron.
To Beer Baron, yeah. I'm a dog dad, so I'm only a dog dad, so.
Hey, I'm a dad to 2 goldfish.
There you go.
Yeah. So, hey, there's responsibility.
And, I will say to all the dads out there, thank you for, bringing your kids to Devils games. I know me personally, I know my dad wasn't the biggest hockey fan. He was a big football guy, but still, he got the season ticket package, every year, and we would go to about 10 games or 12 games, whatever it was. I can't remember. But we would sit right behind, the goalie, because that's where I wanted to sit. I'd pick out the seats. I'd pick out the games. Well, some of the games, I think it was like half of them you could pick out. But, he didn't have to do that, and he still did. But I still give him crap because I had tickets for that magical snow game against the Flyers that the Devils won 6-5. They came back. There was like a dozen fights in it, and there was only like 6,000 or 7,000 people in the stands because there was a massive snow day. And that was one of my games, because you get like, in the package plan, you get like one of the rivalries, and like the Rangers game was either like the Flyers or the Islanders games, so I still give him crap about that, but he still got those season tickets every year. So to every dad out there that does something similar, horns up to you.
Oh, absolutely. I think I was at that game. I believe it was at the Meadowlands. I think it was like, 24 inches or something like that.
Oh, it was a blizzard. Yeah, it was a blizzard. Yeah. And I was ready to go. I was like, come on, Dad, they're still playing. Let's go. He's like, we're not going down the turnpike and all this. Are you kidding me? We can watch it on the sports channel, or probably still sport, or maybe it was Fox Sports back then. I don't know. Maybe it's still sports channel. But yeah, I remember that. It's the old sports channel. Watch Devils and Mets games.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's get right to it. The 2021 Devils free agency. There's going to be decisions made. There's been a lot of rumors.
A lot of rumors. A lot of secrets.
There's a lot of variables in this equation. You've got the Seattle thing going with the expansion draft. You got the actual draft. You also have, I believe, Tom Fitzgerald. I don't believe he's signed long-term as GM of the Devils. So, a little bit there. What is Tom Fitzgerald going to do? I'm going to stick with you, Scotty, because you've said this many times in the past that, okay, we're in a full rebuild. You might as well go all the way with it. But we're talking about free agency here, right? We're not talking about trades. We're talking about free agencies. And I just don't think at this point, and we'll go over the list of our own restricted free agents, unrestricted free agents, but also the top unrestricted free agents and restricted free agents in the NHL coming this summer. Also, as you know, that because it's Father's Day, the Islanders and Tampa Bay going on.
Vegas and Canadiens are playing today.
No, I'm talking about the series going on with the Islanders and.
Oh, yeah.
And what I mean by Father's Day is Matt Martin. Sorry, my screen just went blank for a second there. Did you hear about the story that Gunnar Esiason got married yesterday? Was getting married yesterday, and because of COVID, the wedding was delayed, and they did their best to try not to schedule the wedding during the playoffs, but the playoffs have been pushed back. So they had the wedding, and he could not actually attend, his brother-in-law's wedding because he had a playoff game, and he's a new dad, and, so he had Father's Day or whatever. I know we're going off the subject here, but did you hear that story? He missed a wedding for a playoff game.
Well, I mean, it's a playoff game. I think that's pretty, Yeah. I mean, what are you going to do? It's the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're not going to miss that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gunnar.
But you know what, Boomers? I mean, it is a hockey family.
I know.
I bet you they had the game on and they were just having a good old time.
I'm sure they had it on. Oh, I'm 100% sure they had it on at the after. What do you call that thing? The after party, whatever it's called, reception. The reception. That's the word I was looking for. I'm sure they had it on right by the open bar that I'm sure was there, as is like at every wedding, or probably maybe during the cocktail hour as well, depending on the wedding start time. I am 100% sure they were keeping tabs on it.
I like to brag a little bit because my wedding was on a game. The Devils had a game, October 29th of 2016, and if you could go back, Friday, Saturday, Sunday games, that day was the lowest attendance because everybody came to my wedding.
Oh, there you
that year. Anyway. All right, so let's talk about unrestricted free agents, restricted free agents. Where should we start? Should we start with our own, Scotty, or should we start elsewhere?
Let's start elsewhere because, well, let's start with your own, Samwu. I don't have any of my own. I'm not. Let's hear what you got. I got one area that I really want I really want Fitzy to address. Other than that, okay. I don't really. Well, I think that's what the rest of it.
I'm going to go through SI.com. There was a list. We're just going to go through this list. All right, let's start with the number one free agent with the biggest cap hit, Alexander Ovechkin.
Oh, I heard he totally wants to play for the Devils in his final remaining years. I heard he was looking to get into a rebuild just to, be that driving force, to a new team. And forget the fact that he's set up to win another Stanley Cup, in his last, what is he, 36, 37, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
Who cares if he's trying to chase Wayne Gretzky's record, for goals, and he wants to be on a team where he can get a lot of support right now? I heard he wants to play for the Devils. I don't know about you, Samuel.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, but you know what? I heard he wanted to make a lot of money. Hey,
I think Ovi's gonna stay right where he is. He's set up beautifully, and what's he at? I think he's like 720 or 730, somewhere around there, like goals, right? And what's Gretzky, like 860 something?
Gretzky,
865, 867, somewhere in that range. I mean, Ovechkin's like 100 and 130, 140 or something like that off. He's not like, it's not impossible. And if he's on like a good team and he just starts lining up that cannon, I mean, like, woo, baby. Like he does, he's got an outside shot. He's got an outside shot because as we've seen, the guy could put up point totals, but I highly doubt you will ever get.
Jake Wakely says 894. 894.
894. Okay.
I'm assuming
and
NHL
then
goals.
Oh, that's right. Right. Someone I read this. It was like 160 some. I think that like Ovechkin's got to get. So he's at. I think he's at like 730 ish, somewhere right in that range. So. It'd be interesting, man, but I don't, come on, I'm just joking around. But he'll stay with Washington. They're not that dumb. Him and Backstrom will play together for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, and you know what? And if Fitzgerald, if Fitzy throws a big number at him to
he's not going to.
I'm just saying. But if he does, I'd be mad because it means he's not serious.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because. We talk about it, whatever. What do the Devils have to lose? We got to get to the cap, floor. No, that's not. Yeah, we're not doing that. So that's out of the question. Number 2,
all right,
Dougie Hamilton, defense.
Oh, Dougie Hamilton. I think everyone just likes saying Dougie Hamilton. They just want a Dougie Hamilton on their team. I think that's what it is. It's more everyone just really likes his name, Dougie Hamilton. Oh, yeah, old Dougie Hamilton? Yeah, Dougie Hamilton. Yeah, he's a good guy. Oh, yeah, we got old Dougie Hamilton back there. Good defender. Again, don't think he's going to want to come to a team that is still in this rebuild. This is 2 years from now? Then maybe. Do I think Fitzy's going to throw a bunch of money at him? I do not. Given his age, just being a little bit older. He's not that old, but I mean, like, he's just older out of the range that I think Fitzy is looking for, and what Dougie is looking for. Dougie's going to be looking for something a little long term, And I know he wants to stay in Carolina. I know his buddy, Mr. Brindamore, obviously was convinced to stay down there as well. So, he knows the system. He knows that team. They're a team on the rise. Woo! I mean, I know I was shocked. I had Carolina going to the conference finals, so I was shocked. That they got bounced, but Tampa Bay is Tampa Bay. They're superstars. So, but still, Carolina's got something good brewing down there. So I don't know. Would it be nice to get someone Dougie Hamilton like? Sure, of course. Do I think that's going to happen? No. What do you think of Sam Wu?
You know what? He's a good player, but this is not the right time to be signing. Dougie Hamilton right now, where the Devils are in their rebuild. There's a time and place for that, but if the Devils are going to sign any type of high-priced free agent, it's got to be somebody special.
Okay,
and somebody
all right.
that has an impact, not just for like 2 or 3 years, but long term.
Okay.
And the next one.
I think I know where we're going. Okay.
Are you reading the same article on SI.com?
No, but I have a feeling. I'm hoping we're going to get to. I know there's a couple names on there that are pretty intriguing for the Devils. Go ahead.
Gabriel Landeskog, Colorado Avalanche.
Not the one I was thinking of, but yes, that is a very intriguing player to go after. I mean, he's going to cost a pretty penny. What's he, 27? 28? 28. He's someone that you...
5.5.
Yeah, 5. See, he's another one. I mean, he's probably going to be looking for a raise. I don't know. I don't think he's going to leave Colorado. I think Sakic will maybe... See, I don't know. Joe sometimes is a wild card there as GM, So, and I think the name coming up is the name that really intrigues me, and he is also from Colorado.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. We talk about the Devils up front needs to be a little bit more physical. I think Landeskog can bring that. Number 4 on the list.
Here we go.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins out of Edmonton. I'm just going by this.
Not
list.
Who I was. No, that's fine. That's fine. No, it's just not who I was. That's not who I was thinking of. I was thinking of the other big name from Colorado. But Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I mean, hey, I suggested this in the offseason. We just revisit, or right during the end of the season, we revisit an old strategy. 1-for-1, straight up Edmonton. Damon Severson for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. It worked before for Larson and Hall. Why not try it again? Huh?
Okay, let's go to Cale Makar. I think that's who you want to talk about. I'm skipping the list now. Scotty wants to talk about Makar.
No, that's not who it is either. Gosh darn it. What's the other big name on that list?
Well, now
give me the guys with the... There we go. Give me the guys with the G next to their name. That's where I really feel Fitz is going to go out and try to do again what we attempted to do last year in bringing in Corey Crawford. I think he's going to bring in an established presence to, kind of help. You got to help Mac Black out. We've seen it, this year. He was a little up and down. Yes, it was a crazy, crazy year. No practice, no training camp, COVID shutdowns. Mac Black was the first one, I think, to get put on, or one of the first. I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, I think he got dinged up there at the end of the season. And we talked about it. High shot volume, Mac Black was on it. Low shot volume, he lets in a lot of softies, We thought Corey Crawford was going to be there to be that, guiding presence for him. Turned out things did not work out according to plan. Bring in Wedgwood, bring in Dell. Wedgwood had a good week or two. And then after that, so I definitely think, one of these more established goalies to help solidify the Mac Black presence.
Tuukka Rask.
Give him to me, Sam.
Tuukka Rask.
Tuukka is before Grubauer? Wow. Okay. All right. Tuukka.
7 million cap hit,
well,
34 years
what's
old.
What's Tuukka want to do, really? I mean, he's got the option where he can go to Boston and, they'll probably give him a year or two deal. And I love to hear everyone else's comments, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, goalies. Who do you think we should sign? Or do you think we should be focusing in on goalies? Maybe you think we should be focusing elsewhere. Give me the goalies. Do you have the goalie rundown?
Yeah, well, let's skip number 6, Taylor Hall. That's not happening. Grubauer, 29 years
There
old.
he is.
Cap hit last year, $3.33 million. So you like Grubauer?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying I think that's what we need. In my opinion, that's just my humble opinion. I think we need goaltending. I think goaltending was pretty lacking this year. It was my Ghost of the Year award for our Devils awards. For me, it was the Devils goaltending. That Ranger series. Oh my, sweet.
Well,
man, that was so brutal.
I'll tell you this. Right now, look at Colorado. Look at what Joe Sakic he has to prioritize right now. He's got Landeskog's contract as a priority, Cale Makar as a priority as well. Could you fit him back in the mix in Colorado? Could Fitzy use some of that cap space and bring him over to fill that void that he originally wanted with Corey Crawford? I see the vision on this, Scotty. I think you're absolutely correct. This could be a nice decision to be made and make an offer for his services. Who knows? That's why
Go ahead.
I'm saying that's why when we look at free agency, it's not just the talent pool, but it's also about money, cap space, where the team is at. And I'll tell you right now, the Devils, they need that depth in goaltending, and he could be it. Also on the list, at number 8, let's talk defense again. Tyson Barrie, 30 years old, $3.75 million cap hit last season. What are your thoughts?
I don't see Fitzy doing it. I don't see Fitzy doing that one yet. I don't know. I just don't see it.
I don't think he's going to do it. Let me skip through the list here.
It's too long term of at that point what he's looking for. How about Yaroslav Halak? What if Halak comes in? I mean, he's older.
How old is he?
He's shoot. Pekka. Pekka's a free agent too. James Reimer, Grubauer.
Palmieri, I see on the list here, but I think he's going to be overvaluated. You know, some team's going to give him some ridiculous money. David Krejci.
I think he's going to end up in Boston. I think that's where Palmieri's going to end up in Boston.
Yeah,
he's going to want to go to a more established team. Someone's going to give him a long term. Oh boy, the Islanders. You would think, but they're in. They're gonna be in some cap issues right now. They're
cap hell.
they have zero cap space right now, and I mean, you know, they've traded a lot of those draft picks, and they don't have a lot of expiring contracts except for Palmieri, Zajac. I think Green is up. A couple of the guys that picked up. But anyway, that I'd be interested to see if they have the space to re-sign Palmieri because he fits their mold over there, you know, really well. But you know, Palms is going to be looking for a bit of a raise from what he was paid last year, you know, which is only natural. And now, given this playoff burst, you know, he's kind of establishing himself. Scoring some clutch goals. Oh, you know he's going to use that. You know, his agent will use that, you know, we'll see where he ends up. I think he's going to end up in Boston just because I don't think the Islanders are going to be able to – I don't think they'll have enough room to keep him, basically. Unless he wants to do like a 1-year deal. I don't know. But we'll see with him.
Question for you. How much do you think Blake Coleman will command during free agency? What kind of money is he going to
He is another one.
29 years old.
He is I mean, I think that Tampa is going to try and keep them, but as we all know, Tampa's got some serious cap issues. If you think the Islanders were in a bit of a pickle, whew, how far over is Tampa right now, technically? Like, how many million over the cap are 17 million or 18 million over the cap? There are going to be some serious issues going on and some serious, you know, moves happening in the offseason with them. And, you know, Pickles is really good, you know, like he fits their mold well on that fourth line and he produces a good amount of goals. You know, he's feisty. He does a really good job. I was a big fan of Blake Coleman, you know, seeing him go, you know, sad. I mean, we got a really good deal for him, of course. So, you know, you got to take that. But I would think Tampa would try to re-sign him, but he's gonna test the market too. He's another one that, well, if Lou could, I think Lou would probably try to snatch him up too if he ever hit the market over there in the Island. But the Islanders, yeah, they have no room. So they're gonna have to make some decisions, and this is where the Devils can come in and take advantage of some of that stuff. We all know about that. We all joke about weaponizing our cap space, but who would it be nice to maybe you know, sneak someone off of Tampa?
What about this is the old New Jersey Devil? Years ago, Adam Larson. He's 28 years old. 28 years old. Defensive defenseman?
I mean, he would be. I mean, Lars is. Again, I really, you know, honestly, I don't think Edmonton's going to let him go either. But at 28, bringing him back. What's he playing? Like, he's playing second line minutes up there. Or is he playing top line? He's playing second pairing, basically on D. I don't know. I don't see Fitzy doing that. I have a feeling Mr. Ryan Murray will be back for like another year contract. I have a good feeling on that one.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of our own, right? You know, again, Devils fans, you got to look at the whole situation here. You know, we can easily be an armchair GM, be like, yeah, if I stack this team together, you know, put this. There's a whole different dynamic. I think right now, this team, this current roster, this team needs to be nurtured. They need to be, you know, they need to grow. More, grow up some more. They had a lot of growing pains last season, but I like to focus on that team before that COVID hit because they seemed like they were just starting to gel in Buffalo. If you just remember when Lindy Ruff was, you know, congratulating the players, having a little fun with them, and they genuinely – that locker room was tight, and after the players did their exit meetings and hearing Mackenzie Blackwood's description of what it was like to go through COVID, you know, it's kind of, you know, I kind of give them a pass, you know, on some of their, you know, low marks of last season. It seemed like they grew up a lot towards the end.
They grew up, and you actually, you just made me think of something as well, especially with the defenseman side here in free agency. I think a lot also will have to deal with if the Devils decide to protect or not protect PK Subban in the expansion draft. If they let him go, or if he gets selected, I mean, like we were talking about before, I mean, his contract gets us to our, you know, the cap bottom. You know, that's a pretty big dip over there, you know, then, you know, there might be something more to that then, you know, if PK, but if they protect them, then it's all for naught. But, you know, if he does get selected, then I would not be surprised to see Fitzy try to go out and get a more established presence, you know, for the team, for that young defense.
Yeah. Yeah. And again,
plus Ryan Murray, if you bring back Murray, maybe Butcher, you know, seemed to work his way out of the doghouse there by the end of the season. You got Ball, you got Ty Smith. We're going to see about, you know, the others, the Riley Walshes, the Nikita Hoytyuks. Who are the other ones? Not Graham Clark. He's a forward, right? Who was the other guy? Your Penn State guy, right? Wasn't he a defenseman too? Talavidi?
Yeah, I think so.
There's a couple more in the...
Yeah.
I should know it too. I have it written down somewhere.
No, I think he's a forward, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, jeez. Now we're gonna probably get all the comments. Hey, you guys suck. You should know this off the top of your head. I know it. I'll do my own podcast. No.
Well, we never claimed to be smart. Yeah, Siegenthaler will be back. Okay, so you got Butcher. I just got to get a little refresh here. So Butcher, Ty Smith, you know, Siegenthaler will be there. Damon Severson will be there. You know, PK, do you protect him or not? Ryan Murray, you know, there you go. Do you bring him back? Do you not bring him back? Then you got your Riley Walsh, you know, Kevin Ball, Nikita Ahoytyuk. You know, if you're going to keep Tennyson around, I don't know if you're going to re-sign him or Connor Carrick. We'll see. You know, Vukojevic. That was the other guy, Michael Vukojevic. Their other big. You know, so maybe we do need a little help there on the defense. You know, who can we bring in? I mean, PK, Damon. Will, Ty, right? I mean, well, we do have a lot of guys right there. Kevin Ball, Riley Walsh. Let's see how some of them go through this training camp. Vukojevic, Ahoytyuk. Yeah, I mean, those guys, they're also technically listed down here in the minors if you go to the old cap friendly. We're going to see. We're going to see. I mean, but if PK ends up getting moved or we all know Sam Wu would leave Damon Severson unprotected for the Seattle Kraken to select as well. So if for some reason those two are gone, you know, maybe Fitzy does look for someone a little bit more established, more than Ryan Murray. if you bring back Murray, then you got 7 guys right there. PK, Damon, Will Butcher, Ty Smith, 6 Murray, Siegenthaler, and then you got Kevin Ball, who made his debut at the end. I think he'll be up. Yeah, and
don't forget the future, because the Devils have the 4th overall pick.
We do have the 4th overall pick, and wherever the Islanders' last pick, ends up.
Yeah. So, yeah, anything can happen. But, as we're going through the free agencies, again, you make a good point. What if PK Subban selected off of that expansion draft and ships off?
Yeah.
So
I'm just looking at some of the comments over here. Steve and Matt, Omar. We do have a lot of defensive prospects there that this is supposed to be the season where we see a lot of them. So I'm excited to see some of these guys, make their debut, see what they can do. And then it'll really depend. If the Devils get rid of PK, I mean, they need a contract somewhere. Is that come from a bigger goalie? I don't know. But they need that contract. They need that PK contract.
You know what? I wouldn't mind if they went after a veteran goaltender and maybe overpaid a little bit but no more than 3 years. I'll tell you, because I think it's going to help Mackenzie Blackwood long term, and the workload, having that competition there all year long. I mean, I think it would be good. We can't expect Mackenzie Blackwood to be like what it was like back in the days of Martin Brodeur, where he plays 78 games.
Oh, of course not. Yeah, no.
And the only reason why he sat is because the media kept on pestering the coach. Well, when is he going to take a break? But, I think it's imperative to keep our goaltenders fresh. It's a long season, 82 games. This past season was 56 games, and it was a sprint. So
yeah.
And it would have helped dearly if Corey Crawford was available.
Absolutely. Oh, let's go back to our favorite time of the year, Rangers hate week, when we were down 3-0 in the first period of every single game that series. It was terrible. But Pekka, Halak, James Reimer's out there, then Grubauer, what's his name down there in Carolina as well. Binnington, St. Louis, that's going to be interesting over there. Antti Raanta. Wow. That's right, because Darcy Kemper. I really think that's somewhere we should look. Halak might be, that might be a good – he's had solid runs with numerous teams, from Montreal to Chicago to the Islanders. He's had some good runs. Boston, he seems solid in that sense, in that backup role, though. But he can step in there if need be. I don't know. That seems like a good investment for right now. Having that backup goalie like that to really teach Mac Black, but also step in as need be. Or if he does get hurt, like you said, you can't expect Mac Black to play that much. And we have seen, he has had injury problems, where he does get dinged up each season. So pretty good idea to have a little bit more, solid backup there that can actually step in and fill in that role. And no disrespect to Wedgwood or Dell, they tried hard, but I mean, it was bad. It was bad. I remember Lindy Ruff that one time remember that post game where Lindy was just like, we need some better goaltending is what we need, because they were giving up like 5-6 goals a game there for that stretch. It was just so bad. And I know the defense probably wasn't doing them too many favors at that point, but they were playing better. The defense was playing better by that. Yeah, I thought so too. When they finally listened to Sam Wu, and put the NFZ into effect, we saw PK, put a couple guys down there, we were like, oh, look at that. Someone clearing the crease there. Not standing in the way of Mac Black or whoever, Wedgwood or Dell screening them all the time, So I thought the defense started playing a lot better by the end of the season, personally,
Yeah, and
again, that's just me.
I thought so too. I think, in terms of coaching, keep Nasruddin there, keep Mark Recchi there, Lindy Ruff. You need some continuity. Last season was just a unique time in world history that normally doesn't happen. 9.5 months without, even playing, forget about, practicing, they didn't do anything. And
practice.
Nico Hischier had, probably the worst luck out of anybody last season. But hey, you know what? He stuck with it, and he finished the season. Played to the last game. So kudos to him. I think right now, when we're talking about free agency, I would look at the restricted free agents as well. I would only make one offer.
Okay, who's it going to be?
I don't know yet, but it's got to be somebody that is impactful. But you're going to have to give up draft picks. You're going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up something. You can't just take a restricted free agent and off of another team. But sometimes I like that, that bold move. I remember when I think it was Bobby Clark, GM of the Flyers, put an offer sheet to, I think it was Ryan Kessler out in Vancouver. And Vancouver's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you messing with us? Because I can. Drive up, possibly drive up some prices. But again, I don't know if there's a unwritten code amongst GMs not to do that, because we don't see that happening too often. Didn't the Rangers put an offer sheet to Joe Sakic years ago? Years ago, and Colorado's I'll have to Google that. I think
they might have. I don't know. I think Brandon Karpelik from the Isles. That's a good one too. Like the Islanders, like we were talking about, they're going to have to make some moves. Pellick is another one of those that could be up. We'll see what they do. Lou is, as he proved, he's pretty crafty. So we'll see what he can swing. But they're in, the Isles they're going for it. They're going for it right now. They're trying to win, and they'll figure out, everything afterwards.
Well, Lou knows how to make cap space. He knows how to make players disappear. He'll send them scheme somewhere.
We know. Yeah, we know. Well, we'll see.
Get back to the Joe Sakic thing. So he actually signed an offer sheet from the Rangers in '97 for 3 years, $22 million. And the Rangers did that because they had just lost Mark Messier to the Vancouver Canucks. So that's why they targeted him as a replacement. That's a bold move.
That's a very bold move.
Yeah.
Very bold.
And the 5 first-round draft picks that they would have had to given up, wouldn't that have been something to Colorado? But Colorado
Depends on who
was
those.
win now.
Yeah.
Win now.
At that time, yeah.
Yeah.
They were not giving up. That was the heart. That was the heat. Right. That was around time of the Detroit rivalry and everything like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Could you
Yeah, they were
imagine
not.
if Joe Sakic was actually on the Rangers? Well, I bet you Patrick Waugh would have blown off the coach at the time and landed with another team just because of it.
I still have nightmares about him just being on the Avs when we played them in 01. So I don't even want to picture him on the Rangers ever.
Yeah.
Or the Islanders or the Flyers or anyone else in our division for that matter. So Steve is liking the idea to make the Isles squirm a little bit. I think, yes, Matt Junio, I think Pelech was the one that saved the game for the Islanders last night, making that save. John P. Rooney is saying the only continuity we get with that coaching staff is losing again. I don't think so. I'm going to give them just my opinion again, and John, you're welcome to yours. I just think everything with this year, but Sam is right. Before the shutdown, we were having those little videos of them doing their post game and stuff. And remember, Lindy was ripping on PK for finally being a plus instead of a minus, in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw them kind of bonding and just the Nico puck to the face. This was just like a disaster season. It just really was. I don't know.
Yeah. But we
Pelech
shall
is
see.
Pelech. Oh, it was Pulak. I'm sorry. Steve got it. Pelech is the RFA. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And yes, Montreal did score. Holy jeez. If Montreal sneaks into the finals this year, wow. What a story. What a story.
Yeah. And you know what? And I'll be trolling Montreal Canadiens fans. Because I'm going to put an asterisk next to it if they win the cup.
Oh, man. I can't believe it's been a good playoffs. I mean, two shockers. I mean, for me, I really didn't think the Islanders were going to get as far as they did. They Tristan Jarry, Pittsburgh, oof, he played terribly, and they took advantage of it. They did what a good team does. They saw a weakness and they attacked it, and they were able to do that. Same thing with that Boston series, they were able to, find that weakness in them and attack it, but Tampa is another beast, but we'll see. They're in a great position right now. Winning that game 4, if they somehow sneak out that game 5 in Tampa, look out. Like going back to playing, in Long Island, in the Coliseum. I mean, that'll be a tough one for Tampa to come back. They're going to have to pull hate to bring it up, they'll have to pull a Rangers 94, to come back from something like that. So this next game tomorrow is huge. Must win for Tampa. I don't feel it's a must-win for the Islanders. I feel like the Islanders are totally in the advantage with that Game 6 being at home. If they don't win this one, they still got that home ice, that momentum from playing there that they can use to try and tie it up. And, Game 7, who knows? It's Game 7. So right now, I got to say, surprising for me, advantage Canadians and advantage Islanders. It's been a great playoff run so far.
Absolutely. Well, Scotty, I think it's time to close the show.
We're closing down shop.
Closing down. Yeah, I was on vacation. I'm a little tired.
Sam Wu was vacationing all over the place. He's going to Pittsburgh. Yeah. He's going to Cleveland. He went to Alaska.
No.
Then he came back down to Mexico. Then he went to the Bahamas for a little bit, and then rounded the trip off. He took a stroll down Bourbon Street, I heard, in his underwear about 3:30 in the morning. It was a fantastic trip. You can go see all excitement on Sam Woo's social pages.
Yeah, absolutely. At Primetime Sam Woo. You can visit Scotty on SiriusXM Liquid Metal. And
coin.
Steve Facebook Live. Thank you. All right, well, we're going to drop this podcast.
And Steve, I'm not trying to discount Tampa. I know they're a big team, but this next game, huge. They got to win.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have to talk to you about some stuff off air.
Secrets.
If the Islanders, if the Islanders actually make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, do we do a podcast from the parking lot?
No. It's the Islanders.
Yeah, but we can make fun of them.
If you want to drive all the way to hell out to Long Island in that traffic and sit in that parking lot, more power to you, Sam Woo. More power to you. I'll be out here in LA. I'll connect via the old interwebs.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Also, July 23rd, we'll work on that. We'll have more news about that. Thank you, everyone, for participating on our social media pages. And also, Scotty, thank you for coming on and making time. And thank you to all you dads out there. Till next time.
Happy Father's Day.
Let's go Devils.